Test.
Test.
Test, test.
Investing in your kids is a nesting.
We need to be.
Okay.
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 Talk about something.
Talk about something. Okay.
Go back.
Do you consider Freud
Be.
a philosopher or a psychologist?
That's terrible. I'm gonna record. And we'll just figure out what we want to talk about as we go on.
As we go on? Okay. Yeah, I guess that makes sense by conscience.
Can tell them what's going on now in the world.
Are we starting?
I told you I'm gonna keep recording until we figure it out.
Well,
Are you gonna go? You don't know
I was
anything
gonna
about what's
introduce us.
happening? Oh, okay, introduce us.
Okay.
You ripped my thingy already.
I'm sorry.
Okay, go.
Welcome to Viral Conscience, the podcast where our bodies are trapped in quarantine or stay at home or whatever the policy is, but our minds go everywhere. That's why it's called Viral Conscience.
Yeah.
Because we also are in the middle of a virus. And this is our first episode.
I know.
Isn't that crazy?
It is crazy.
Insane. It's like we've been at this for 5 minutes.
I keep thinking that we're gonna have to go into, like, playing music after it.
Absolutely not. I mean, we can have a music bed, but it's not radio. It is not.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, for those of you who don't know, my name is Matan, Dubnikov. I'm here with my podcast partner and best friend in the world, Maddie West.
I keep thinking, what is it? Special guest Maddie West.
Yeah. I also happen to host a rock radio show called Fretboard Fanatics on 90.3 The Core out of New Brunswick, New Jersey. Yeah.
Yeah.
So for those of you who are listening, I'm temporarily shut out of the radio station because of the circumstance, and now we're here.
How are they gonna hear this? How are they gonna hear this?
What do you mean?
Where are we posting it?
All over the internet.
It's going everywhere.
Everywhere.
Have a podcast thing on iPhone's podcast.
Yes. Excellent. Well, as we all know, we are here because of the coronavirus, and obviously a lot of people have been getting the blunt end of the stick with regards to this virus, and we really haven't felt it. We're also a little bit cushioned from it, being that we're students and not in the job force. But it also means we get to have the brighter, more creative side of it, so we're not panicking about our money. And instead, we're just panicking about our boredom.
Yeah.
And taking to social media to feed our brain cells with nonsense.
I never even looked at it like that.
Yeah. But it has been quite an experience so far. I mean, first off, I love being home.
I think that's your dog.
I think that is my dog.
You know what I was thinking about too?
Shoot.
Is that because we're in total lockdown, the only people that we could actually like interview or do the podcast with would be our family members.
That's not bad.
It's kind of fun.
Were we inviting Jay in?
I just wanted to see if it was Jay.
I think it was. I heard the
Well, he knocked his head on the door
Yes.
and I walked away.
But what is interesting is that though everybody's at home and the economies are grinding to a halt, this is kind of a surge period for the arts. As people take the different passions and different hobbies that they've always wanted to try,
Or
but usually
post
have never
on
had
Instagram.
I mean, if you're a teenager.
How to draw carrots and tomatoes.
Now people are looking into TV shows and movies and, taking up hobbies like drawing, painting, filming, podcasts.
Or you can watch all the shitty teen dramas that are on Netflix.
I mean, you don't have to. You can also watch great shows. Let's start with that. To the viewers and listeners, do you have anything that you recommend?
As like a movie?
Movie, TV show, any type of content that can sort of feed them.
Well, I feel like everybody's probably watched it just because of the fear of it. It's Contagion, which you watched without me last night.
After you watched already.
Well, yeah, Contagion, which is good. It's basically everything that's happening right now, except, of course, the death rate is 20% instead of our 2%, even though...
A little more.
Yeah, like 30, 35, I don't know.
The R0 for the disease in Contagion fluctuates between 2 and 4, which essentially means that the number doubles per infection rate if it's an R0 2 and quadruples.
Look at you.
R0 4. Yeah.
You know all your shit.
After watching a movie, yeah.
Yeah, I guess I didn't pay attention.
Yeah. And the good news is that it's very eye-opening. And it's crazy how many similarities there are. I know, you have all brain fart. The conspiracy theorists who are, stating that this is a bioweapon. People actually want to use it as a bioweapon.
Which is
People
funny.
think that this is phony, that there is a cure. That's the role that Jude Law plays.
Yes.
Yeah. Essentially a blogger, journalist, kind of, a little left of center. Who likes challenging the mainstream.
Yeah.
And eventually is exposed for portraying false ideas
I
while
was just gonna say.
getting bail.
Yeah.
From 12
From
million
everybody.
followers, yeah.
So the woman dies on his porch or something.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's very interesting because they even go into how things are happening in their supermarkets at home and everything, and now the wide range of the people stealing all the toilet paper.
Yeah, it's
and all the wipes. I love walking into our Stop and Shop or ShopRite. It's literally packed with people, or there's nobody and there's just no food or anything anywhere.
I know, they all happen to be at the public parks, practicing social distancing in herds. Yeah, the park across the street has not seen such a quantity of people in its existence. Since its conception, there has never been such a great crowd.
So
That's fine. It's like watching a very slow horse race from your bedroom window. Lets the time fly by.
Yeah. No, it's suddenly I will say going on all the hikes and the 3-mile walks just to keep entertained. Mm-hmm. It's kind of nice though because I feel like a lot of people haven't, well, I guess just me maybe, but I feel like there's no need to go on my phone anymore because I literally have nobody to text anymore. Or to look at, I don't know, I feel like I'm reloading the same screens over and over again.
It's good not to be on your phone, first of all, because then you get trapped in a loop of laziness when you can be doing so many other things, You have all these opportunities, even though you're trapped at home, to do all kinds of things that you've never really thought of doing.
Yeah.
Hiking, doing crafts, starting a garden. All these things that people can start doing now because they're at home. And, the easiest way is to put the phone down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, with you and me, we had the difference in you were gone most of the week and then come back on the weekends because of college.
Yeah.
And then with me, I go to school, but I come right home to see my parents all the time. So at this point, we're just kind of sick of each other because we see each other every single day now, practically.
I'm not sick of you.
Not me and you. Ding dong. My parents.
Oh.
My parents are literally sick of me. It's so funny how you can, all of a sudden you're with your family for, an entire week and realize how, bored you can get with just hanging out with your family. Mm-hmm. I don't know. It might differ with you just because you didn't get to see your family. I enjoy spending
time with my family. But yeah, it's definitely a different circumstance.
Yeah.
And continuing with the content recommendations, as ironic as it is with all the travel bans and, Europe kind of collapsing in and of itself because of its slow response to coronavirus, this is an excellent time to explore foreign shows, foreign movies. Because, even though U.S. movie theaters around here might not play it, 'cause, name especially, or except for few alt theaters like Angelica in the City or IFC, that specialize in those things for the aristocrats of Manhattan. Foreign films are actually phenomenal, and not only does the exotic feel of listening to a new language and witnessing a new culture on the screen make the movie so more interesting, but also the concepts themselves are really creative. If you look at Parasite, I haven't watched it, but it's the latest breakthrough of what I'm talking about, where foreign films are suddenly taking over. People are realizing that it's not just Hollywood that's, churning out great movies, but elsewhere. Seoul, Rome, Madrid, Santiago, London. And they're gaining by the minute as Netflix begins to purchase rights to those movies and make them accessible to virtually everyone on the planet with an internet connection. And so if you're one of those people with an internet connection or with Netflix, I highly recommend watching a foreign film.
Yeah, except if you're like me and cannot read subtitles for shit.
Well, you'd be surprised how many of them are in English.
Well, no, yeah, they're definitely, well, because now it's becoming like a bigger trend in the U.S.
Yes.
But
it certainly is, even though as we've seen our era of globalization grind to a halt recently, virtual globalization is through the roof.
yes,
Yes,
definitely.
100%.
It's kind of crazy because I feel like it's either I'm hearing about America or Italy, and that's basically all I hear about every day.
Well, I can tell you that I hear about everywhere. China has recently gone on a complete flip turn with regards to this virus. They don't have any new cases, or haven't had any new cases in the past 4 days, which is absurd.
That we know of?
There are no new cases popping up, yeah. I mean, as per the numbers say, I don't know how much you trust those numbers and how prone they are to fluctuation, but the Chinese seem to have a handle on these things, while the West begins to deteriorate into apocalypse.
I just think of the death rate in Italy went up to 20%,
Italy took
or
the mistake of not doing travel bans, and with Italy being a top tourist destination in the world, you already see the problem here. If you've ever seen any pandemic movie, everything spreads like wildfire.
Yeah. Well, I haven't, actually, that was a great documentary series on Netflix, Pandemic. And that was before, well, I mean, they knew that it was a threat, but, like, they put it on Netflix to see if, like, people would watch it. It's like a grabber kind of thing. But, like, it's interesting because they were talking about how, like, crazy the flu is and how people don't really, like, pay attention to that kind of stuff. But then, and now it's like, now we're definitely forced to pay attention to what's going on across the world.
I think the biggest takeaway from this virus is that the status quo is bound to change. Just because the way we live is the way we live doesn't mean that it will always be.
No.
If you think only for the last 80 years of humanity's existence have we had technology, electricity, heating, economies, everywhere everybody gets a job and there's stability. Before that, you'd live in, thatched huts if you weren't rich, and you'd be farming if you weren't rich. And your country would be in a perpetual state of war because of empirical reasons. It's interesting. It provokes a lot of thought, and, people need to figure out that it's not always going to stay like this.
Yeah.
It wasn't fixed. It's not like Monopoly.
Well, now it's like the big thing of survival of the fittest and everything. And it's kind of like...
survival of the richest, not necessarily the fittest.
That's a good way of putting it. Tom Hanks is feeling better, guys.
Oh, yes.
Oh my god.
Great.
Meanwhile,
so
like...
glad for Tom Hanks.
What's the death toll in New York? Do we know?
And I don't know, but I know that it's the new epicenter of the United States.
Last time I looked, it was like 4,000, but it's definitely changed.
It's 30,000 today.
Are you kidding?
I'm not kidding. Well.
That's horrifying.
Okay. Why don't you tell me a story from abroad? Or abroad, I mean anywhere outside of close to New Jersey, being that we are trapped here until further notice.
Well, I never usually traveled a lot. I mean, I've been a lot of places in the U.S. I lived most of my life in Arizona. So I was always a West Coast kid. So I mostly stayed either in Arizona or in California, and that's where majority of my time was spent. And it's kind of funny, me and my family were talking about how it seemed like anytime we went on a vacation, we would be going to Disneyland. And we took our first trip to Hawaii for I think it was only 4 days. But we were talking about how in insane it was because we did literally everything in the span of those 4 days. With like the turtles and just hiking and going to see
That is the travel bug.
Oh my god. It was actually gorgeous.
You never realize how much you do when you travel abroad until you actually do so.
Yeah. I would love to go to Hawaii again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even like my parents always talk about the Bahamas because they went there for their anniversary. I know.
Wow.
Look at them.
Fancy schmancy.
You know where they also went on their honeymoon?
Where?
Disney World.
That's cute.
That's weird, right?
No.
I feel like that's weird.
It's not weird. Whatever bothers their
I guess now that they're like 60, it sounds interesting to hear my parents going to Disney World alone together. How about you?
Well, I could only think of Tom. Tom is a Scottish exchange student that I used to have, and we're still very good friends, and now he's in the Royal Merchant Navy. And so he spends about a third of his year on ships somewhere in the ocean. He was in Brasilia this year. He happened to be in Singapore the other year. Essentially, wherever the cargo goes, you might find a big Scottish man on a ship. Yes, who doesn't like it when you call him Shrek whatsoever?
Not at all.
No, I made that mistake.
Oh, God.
Yeah, freshman year of high school was fun. Well, I also happened to go to Scotland, and Tom and I, with the rest of the exchange group, went to Glasgow. Now we didn't see anything in Glasgow other than the Rangers Stadium and Rangers and the Naval Museum, or it was a Naval Museum. It was an automobile museum, everything from cars to trains to ships, and forgive me, I don't remember the name of the river that runs through Glasgow. There is a ship that sits on the harbor, or right off the museum, and they let you go on inside of it. An old, sails, rope, wooden ship, before the era of steam. And we go up top, and I'm looking at everything, and suddenly Tom comes right from behind me, with his big left hand and big right hand, grabs my waist, and goes, "Matan, we're gonna put on a show for everyone." Hey, what do you mean? "We're going to pretend we're from the Titanic." And I go, "I still want to look around." He goes, No, it'll be hysterical." It's like, okay. Who am I gonna be? "You're gonna be the girl." "Why don't you be the girl?" "I'm too big to be the girl." Whatever. Stick on my hands and climb on the mast of the ship, or up on the front. And suddenly, you start to see the people that are waiting online for the ship look up. And Tom goes, Say the line! I don't remember the line. He goes, "Fine, just stand there and look pretty." And people started to take off their phones, and the rest of the exchange students started to take pictures. And that was how we brought the Titanic to Glasgow in a brief 2 minutes.
Oh, God. I like that a lot.
Thank you very much.
I want to meet him now.
You want to meet him? Well, he was planning on coming. I don't know what's going to happen nowadays with the airlines and everything, but he was planning on coming next January, December. And I told my parents, hey, you think you can host Tom again if he comes over? And they go, no. Go, why not? They go, we're scared for the bathroom.
Oh, God. Yeah, you don't want two of you in here.
Yeah. Would you ever consider doing an exchange program?
I wanted to.
Yeah.
What's it called? Because they were talking about it this year, and then I was too late to sign up.
It was a pity.
Yeah.
But then again, those opportunities always jump up in college.
Yeah. Oh, gosh. What's it called?
Don't know, never named it.
What I have been noticing about just this week entirely, the fact that I've read so many articles on how it's actually a good thing to be bored because it makes you creatively active throughout your days.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so interesting because now that has happened, I've been trying to find new ways of keeping myself from being bored. But not only that, it's now happening even in my sleep.
Crazy dreams?
I think I've had the most insane back-to-back dreams this entire week that it's like unbelievable.
Yeah.
I had maybe one day that wasn't like as kooky, and it was when I was over here and I was just dreaming about like me being a Mario Kart racer, which was still kind of weird.
I wish I could say the same.
I don't know.
Now, I'll ask you a question. Do you think your dreams say anything about you?
Oh yeah, totally.
Do you want to give an example?
Well, like a lot of my dreams always tie with either something that I was talking about in that day or hidden subconscious feelings. In fact, I got my dream analyzed by can I call him a psychologist? It's practically Mr. Nix.
You might as well, yeah.
Yeah, I got my dreams analyzed by a psychologist.
You could just say psychology teacher, but right.
A psychology teacher, whatever.
Yeah.
He analyzed it and he actually got it like straight on with like apparently how I was feeling about going off to college next year and stuff. I had like this weird insane dream about being put in jail.
In the not so far distant future.
Yeah. Being put in jail and having this psycho like have me enter his mind or his head. And
yeah, that psycho happened to be Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah, it was the guy from
Hannibal Lecter.
Yes, Hannibal Lecter. And he was talking to you too.
Yeah, he was talking to all of us.
But yeah, it was like I don't know, and he got everything right about how I was scared about college being like, kind of like a prison where I'm not able to see my family or, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And that I'd be like a completely different person the minute that I got out of college or, went to visit. It was kind of interesting, but I don't know. Again, it's like I've been having the most insane dreams recently about like just the most random stuff.
Mm.
I mean, I don't know how it ties. Like, I don't know if it's just like now my mind is going nuts throughout a day because I don't know what to do with myself. But
I guess, but I don't think so. I think it is, inputs of information that you get from the day, and in my opinion, the collective effort of trying to not be bored.
Yeah. Your dream this morning was pretty weird, actually.
Yes, it was very, very, very weird. It's interesting because now that I'm home, I don't think there's been a week that Rutgers hasn't been involved in my dreams, which is a shame because I want to get away from there. But my subconscious says, no, you have to stay.
Trust me, I've seen so many videos. I'm even in a group or a private story that says, I want to go, or I miss Rutgers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, tell me about it.
It's phenomenal.
Great.
I guess it's an amazing school.
I wouldn't say amazing, but it definitely has its perks and its quirks, to say the least.
Good food.
Good food, for sure. For sure. I think I eat healthier there than I do at home, and that says something.
You should talk about I've been having a throwback of food lately, like an insane throwback.
Yeah.
Today I had I had SpaghettiOs and meatballs, which I haven't had in since I was in elementary school.
Pretty nostalgic. Huh?
I know. And then I don't know why, but like PB&Js were never a thing until this week.
Right.
You can have the what's it called? I made tacos the other day, which isn't much of a throwback.
Scrumptious.
So scrumptious.
Yes.
But board games have been a huge thing now too.
Okay.
Suddenly bringing out the board games.
Yeah, feeling like a kid again?
I really do.
It's a necessary feeling.
It's weird.
It's not weird, it's good. Well, I can tell you that today I made a kale radicchio, carrot, rocket, and I think lettuce, with tomatoes, goat cheese, and slivered almonds, topped with olive oil, balsamic, and a dash of salt.
I love the difference in our foods.
And that was my opener, and then I had ginger butternut squash soup, and finished it all.
Yeah, guys, I had spaghetti with meatballs.
Yeah.
In the morning, I ate some cereal.
I did have some cereal as well, with some kefir. Instead of milk.
Oh.
Which is like a goat yogurt.
I'm lactose intolerant, and I still drink milk.
Yeah, for her tolerance for lactose. She's very impatient.
It's fine. When we start doing these episodes, we're gonna do a subject topic a day.
I know, we have to do a subject.
So we'll do. So this is kind of just an intro to everything.
Yes, just throw into the universe.
We are bored and in lockdown at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
New Jersey has been put into lockdown.
Yeah,
but
it's not really, because everybody's still out and about.
They kind of looked at it and went, oh, significant others, other people, okay, we're fine, and then walk out. Technically what we're doing.
Yeah, but continuation, I think we will have a subject for a day, or a theme, vice versa. Might as well do stuff with it.
Yeah, I think I like the idea of a day talking about travel, a day talking about weird arts and crafts that we did that week, or even just something, talk about a weird story that's happened during this time.
Do we want to do these once a week?
We should do that.
Yeah. I think it's a good idea.
Yeah, or if Corona is no longer a thing in a week or in 2 weeks, suddenly, like, there's an immediate cure, then...
Okay, well...
Just speed up.
Yes. Well, this is the week... Today is March 22nd of the year 2020. Next week, how about we do languages? Or language as a topic. Yeah. Everything related to language.
Okay.
I was very tentative.
Yeah, I don't understand. Explain.
Yeah, I guess we'll see what happens next week. I don't want to spoil anything.
Okay, well then you'll know by next week, along with me.
Yes. Tentatively. If it's not, then this will just be cropped out.
I like that idea. Okay.
Okay.
How do we end it?
Good question. I think we press stop.
Or no, we gotta do like an ending saying.
I know, but if just, how do we end it?
Okay.
Unrelated to our political views whatsoever. Stay home. Stay healthy. Pillage the politicians and eliminate the wealthy. Have a great week, everyone.